Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Make a Game. This is episode 21, and today I'm adding another track type. This new track type is called the grouper. It splits cargo into groups by sending cargo of a certain type one way, and all other cargo types the other way. Let's get started. As always, when adding new tracks, I need to define the track in the tile class. And for this track, I need to define a new output type, then set the track subtype, rotations, outputs, and output type. This class already contains one property value for each tile. However, the grouper requires a second property value. Because of this, I renamed the original property value before adding the second. In my GameTile and GameTile Circle classes, I updated the existing property variable name. Then I updated the property setter as well as adding a second setter. With the tile updates complete, here's the grouper prefab. I reused the model that was created for the splitter, then added two sprite objects. The first will show the cargo type that gives a truthy value, and the second gives the direction that cargo type will travel. For the grouper, I created a new GameTile class that inherits from the GameTile signal, which in turn inherits from GameTile. This new class is called GameTile Grouper, as it will only be used by the grouper and will not be inherited by any planned tiles. Within this class, I override the property setters so they update the two sprite objects anytime a property is set. Property A simply sets the sprite for the cargo type, and property B flips the directional sprite as well as changing the color to match the signal lights. Because I want the conditions of this tile to play a larger part in the puzzles for this game, I don't want them to be completely fixed within a level. That means I need to add a way to change them within gameplay, so I created a class to manage this. I created a generic class to manage gameplay tile editing called Gameplay Tile Edit Master. This class contains several references to the panel for tile editing, as well as UI components specific to the grouper. For now, this panel will only be shown when a grouper is selected. This will also show the grouper specific components. The components that I added include a cargo type sprite as well as a directional sprite. Clicking either of these will cycle through the available options and update the selected tile. Here you can see this gameplay tile editing in action. When I select a grouper, the panel appears and it's populated with the current cargo type and direction. Clicking the cargo type will cycle through the three options that currently exist. When I deselect the grouper, you can see the sprite has updated on the tile object. I can do the same with the direction, which toggles between left and right, as well as changing the color to match the signal lights, just as it does on the tile object. Now that we can modify the grouper conditions within gameplay, all that's left is to modify the tile behavior. To take advantage of the grouper's property A value, I need to pass in the cargo type when I check for the next output direction. I also update the GameTile signal class's override of this method, as well as the check position behavior class's call of the method. With the cargo type available to us, I need to modify the next direction logic to produce the correct results. Since the output type is conditional and not standard or cycle, I'm going to reset the next direction to -1 each time this method is called. This forces the method to find the first available output direction of the tile. By default, the first direction is where we will send a matching cargo type. However, if the cargo type doesn't match property A's value, or the direction, property B, has been flipped, then it will find the second output direction. Notice that this statement uses an XOR operator instead of an OR operator. This means that if one but not both conditions are true, it will find the second output direction. This is because a non-matching cargo type and a flipped direction will actually output from the first direction. Lastly, I updated the signals of the grouper. Within the GameTile grouper class, I overrode the update signal coroutine from the GameTile signal parent class. Instead of constantly showing one direction or the other, I want it to briefly flash the direction based on our conditional checks. This way it will guide the cargo down the proper path, then turn off before the next cargo activates it. Here's the final result in action. As you can see, each cargo type is being correctly guided toward its proper end tile, and the signals are lighting the direction each cargo is traveling. That's all I have for you today. I added the new track type of grouper, as well as a way to modify its properties within gameplay. I also updated the next direction method to properly handle the new output type. Finally, I updated the prefab to correctly signal the cargo as it's traveling down the conveyor. If you liked this episode, you can subscribe to my channel on the left and find more of my videos on the right. If you have feedback or suggestions, you can leave a comment or reach out to me on Twitter. Thanks for watching.